what you call a bad bit. What? This is what you call a bad bit. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad bit. What? This is what you call a bad bit. Looks a little bit like I can't. Yeah, this is what you call a bad bit. This is what you call a bad bit. This is what you call a bad bit. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. This is what you call a bad bit. What? This is what you call a bad bit. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. This is what you call a bad bit. What? This is what you call a
What is going on? Oh, there it is. You were gonna have to do the whole motherfucking show by yourself. Yeah. No, I think so.
They can't hear me. They can't hear me though.
Yeah, see, then no, you're doing the whole motherfucking show by your goddamn self.
No, I'm not good. Nope, refuse. I got that. They still can't hear me though. You are gonna do the show by
I
yourself.
hear you now. They can hear you now. I'm watching your.
Yeah, you now, but not me.
Yeah. No, the audio is out because it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my
I think
computer.
you can hear me now. Can you hear me now?
No. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Waking Up. I want a new background. What should our new background be? Pep.
Zombie Jesus. What?
Sadly, we can pep. Jay's coming for the throat already.
Oh, wow, Jay woke up.
And hi, Kagome.
Hi.
I have missed you. I miss you tons.
Hi, Kagome.
I want to see you soon. Please. Hello, this is Waking Up. This is I am Arugs, and this is my best friend Sean, who is half awake.
That is correct.
Anyway, we're here. This is our show about our religious trauma, and not just our religious trauma, but just our mental health in general. It's basically pretty much it. And this is our third annual Zombie Jesus special.
Doing this for 3 years. Third
year.
Jesus special.
That's
impressive.
Year. I know, right?
That is quite impressive.
That's a lot of trauma that we're still talking about.
That is a lot of trauma. Yeah. We might have to go back to those early days and evaluate those.
No. Maybe. All right. So here is our disclaimer. Here on Waking Up, we are not here to bash anybody's religious beliefs or their faith. We think religion and faith are beautiful things when done in a mentally and emotionally healthy manner. We are not licensed professionals. Anything said on this podcast is our own personal experience and our own personal opinions. We are not therapists. We are not life coaches. We are not counselors. We are none of those things. See, we can't even get through it. We're not even professional podcasters. It's fine. So,
We're just here.
But however, thanks, Paragon.
Hey, Paragon.
So if you do need professional help, please contact us at NerdMomAce on all the socials, and now at Team AOA, yay, or Assembly of Arugs, actually, Assembly of Arugs on all the socials. And we do have ways that you can get in contact with somebody who is a licensed professional who can get. And if you're in a crisis, please let us, call the crisis helpline. Like let's get some help. Like we don't want you to sit. So yeah. Sean and I grew up in the Carolinas. We grew up in the Southern Baptist Church, good old buckle of the Bible Belt, Billy Graham territory. And if for those of you who don't know what that is a very strict conservative evangelical denomination of the Christian faith. And it fucked us up. And that's pretty much as simple as it can get. It fucked us up.
I got hit by that Bible Belt many a time. I was raised by that Bible Belt.
Oh my God, I love that song. I love the song Bible Belt. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I remember you sharing that one.
Yeah, that one.
Those deconstruction evangelical songs, they got some good ones out there.
Craving some flesh, though. I mean, aren't we all craving a little flesh every now and then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like to always get the people who correct me that it is not zombie Jesus. It is.
Yes, let's talk about it.
Okay, you talk about that because you're the expert in zombies. Like,
not exactly. So of course, this morning within our group chats, there's a round of happy zombie
every year.
Day.
Every year,
always happens, and there's always that one person that goes, actually,
it was Bear this year. It was Bear this year. And actually, my friend Brian sent me that earlier. He's like,
yeah.
What?
So, Bear, there's always that one person in your group who likes to remind you that Jesus is not a zombie. Jesus is a lich. And for a bunch of reasons that I'm not really going to go into, you can Google it. It's all about, yeah, it has to do with him rising and raising people and himself and blah 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 and all of his abilities. It's, yeah, he's a lich. We get that. I understand that. But Happy Lich Jesus Day just doesn't have the same ring as Happy Zombie Jesus Day.
Right, zombie Jesus.
It's different. It feels different. So
It does hit different.
We're aware that that we're using it incorrectly.
A lich. Yes. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I can find.
All right, pull it up.
I'm gonna at least find the link. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. We'll give you a topic. So, Jesus is not a zombie. Discuss. Yeah. So that's what we wake up to every Easter is But saying that to a Christian does.
There you go.
Some Christians respond.
And
in
for
a
those
funny
that are
way.
lurking, I'm gonna read it. because
Yes, please do.
because I feel like we do our due diligence every year. This Easter, remember, Jesus was not a zombie. He was not mindless, nor did he consume anyone, nor was he a ghoul or a white. Although his soul and intellect were intact, he was not a rotting corpse. I beg to differ, but let's go on. He was not a vampire. While he transubstantiated wine into blood, he never drank it from a person. Jesus was not a ghost or a wraith. He was corporeal and still had his wounds. It is clear Jesus was a
fingers in my holes. That's what he's telling people.
I mean, Jesus was a lich. A lich is created when a powerful magician or king striving for eternal life uses spells or rituals to bind his soul to his animated corpse and thereby achieves immortality. Liches are depicted as being clearly cadaverous, their bodies still bearing the wounds that they received from their death. Liches often have the power of necromancy, which allow them to bring the dead back to life.
So there you have it.
Okay, Blue Ellie said 3 days he wouldn't be decaying yet. False. Fake freaking news. You start to decay the moment your body ceases to exist. The blood starts to pool. Oh, don't even get me started. Like, the blood starts to pool. You start to stiffen. Rigor mortis sets in.
Yeah,
and then
you
after
do.
rigor mortis, after like 18 to 24 hours, then your body starts to soften up because the tissues start to break down.
Yes. And doesn't, if there's no way for the gas to release, doesn't the gas start to build up?
Yeah. That's why they embalm you within 72 hours of dying.
Yeah. So he'd be smelling pretty ripe.
So he technically was rotting.
And he stiffened up. Remember, they said he is risen. So.
I said the volume went out? What happened?
Oh.
Did I overpower my mic?
Volume?
Probably.
You mean, yeah.
I was on a rampage.
Yeah, and especially the area in which. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
And I can hear me too. Okay, so especially as Jace points out, especially in the area in which he lived, it's going to be kind of warm out there, and heat causes it to move faster, to decay faster. See, very good. Yeah, that's right. Our audience is smart.
I've actually had run-ins, experiences with decaying bodies.
Like human bodies? Okay, do tell. I feel like we need to know this. Uh-huh.
Okay. This is where we're talking. You know what? No, you know what? If everybody's good, that'll be your treat at the end. I will tell you about.
Oh, so we're gonna have a happy ending. Okay,
the kitty is very interested. Yes, she is.
Yes.
I was
Mouse
gone
is
for
very-
a couple days, and she's being a little needy.
Mm-hmm.
Because God forbid, I go away for a couple days. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
What is your most traumatic Easter story? Do you have one?
I don't know if I have a most traumatic Easter story. Easter, we didn't do that. We didn't do mass. That was one thing. We didn't actually have a sunrise service for a while. We didn't go to sunrise service. I know a lot of people do the sunrise service.
Oh, that was the worst. Every year.
Yeah, I know.
every year.
Yeah, and there was a point we started to, but we didn't do that initially. We did have my mom did make Easter baskets, which by the way she still sends Easter baskets. I'm in my 40s and she still sends an Easter basket. It's not a basket, it's a box with stuff in it.
Did she send one this year?
I haven't seen it. She may have. I just haven't seen it. It doesn't always get here around this time. But you know what she used to include every year? What she used to include every year in the Easter basket? Church. Oh yeah. Oh, today. Wait, today is that day, isn't it?
Today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Blue Ellie.
I love you. It is your birthday. Everybody wish Blue Ellie happy birthday because you know what? She needs the love, and I love her, and I'm so glad she exists. And we got to smash things yesterday, and
oh my god!
And we threw axes, and we did all the destructive behavior. So,
do you still have any of your all of your appendages? Did you lose an appendage?
I found I am really good with the ninja star.
Ninja stars. All right. Good deal. Good to know. Direct sunlight.
This is why I love Jay. He's like, and another thing. And let me tell you.
Exactly. Science.
Oh, Easter. Did y'all do the Easter pictures?
I want to say so. Pictures is a bit of a traumatic thing for me though. So I can't remember. I know my mom was always the picture person. Always wanting to get the picture, and it was every combination of pictures of everybody. So I'm pretty sure we did the picture thing at church.
So it was always a thing. I had, and I know I tell this every year, but this is like a trauma for me. This is probably why I don't like wearing shoes and I go barefoot as often as possible. Because, oh my God, she would put us in the socks with the lace on the ankles, the little lacy socks, and the black patent Mary Jane shoes, which I now have, but for a totally different reason. And like the cute dresses, we would have the hats and the gloves,
the hats, the bonnets.
The bonnets. Wow. We did have Easter bonnets.
That is a whole trauma.
That is
the Easter outfit is definitely a trauma.
Bonnets, yes. And we would have to do all the little pictures every motherfucking Easter.
Apparently, Blue Ellie is well aware of these socks.
Those socks.
I think every girl in the South is fully aware
of those socks. Those socks with the lace on them. I don't know how many pairs I had. Oh my God. And you wore them. If you weren't wearing tights, you wore those with your shoes, so your shoes didn't get sweaty.
Of course. Yeah. Wearing shoes without socks was an absolute no. You couldn't do something like that.
Oh, Paragon sent us. Oh.
Have you ever changed out of your special outfit before the pictures were taken?
Oh, have you been here for the past 3.5 years with listening to my parent trauma?
No. You would have been snatched up if
I would have been snatched up, but yes, snatched up, yes.
Oh. Easter clothes in front of the
because the azalea bushes. Oh
my God, azalea bushes.
I think we've all have the same trauma. I think we all have that same. Like if you lived in the South,
that word azalea,
I just give you shit because you always had. I always had an azalea bush.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those.
we didn't do pictures of the house because remember the condition of the house. So our pictures were always done like at our relative's house, my cousin's house, or aunt and uncle, or church. So there every so often I would get changed out of clothes before I was supposed to, and oh my God, I got in so much trouble.
Did you guys do Easter dinner, Easter lunch? What was your Easter lunch?
Yeah.
Was it Boston Market?
No, my parents didn't do Boston Market.
No.
No, my parents often did Little Caesars for lunch. Now, wait, hold on. When I say Little Caesars, everyone's brain goes to hot and ready. And you're like, that is like lunch. We always had the same lunch on Sundays. It was Little Caesars, but this was in early Little Caesars days. This is when Little Caesars was like a gourmet pizza. It was a rectangular.
Little Caesars was never a gourmet pizza, Pep Pep.
It
No,
was.
no, let that go.
Okay,
No, you know what? No,
gourmet? It
no,
was on par with like Pizza Hut Pizza Inn. I wouldn't say gourmet. You're right.
no.
It was on par with like Pizza Hut
No.
or Pizza Inn. Pizza
No.
Hut or Pizza
No. No.
Domino's. No,
You
not
can-
even Domino's.
You can
Papa John's.
you can keep trying. It's not going to make Little Caesars a gourmet fucking pizza.
Yes. Shifty knows what I'm talking about. The big rectangular cardboard trays with the paper over top of it.
I am not saying that it's not good for the price, but it ain't motherfucking gourmet.
It wasn't gourmet. But as a kid at the time.
You know what?
so we
Okay,
had
I'll give you
Little
that.
Caesars,
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give
Yeah.
you gourmet.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Remember how I grew up? That felt like gourmet.
Fair.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or every once in a while, I think we went to the Golden Corral.
Oh God, the GoCo.
The GoCo for Easter lunch.
Oh, you got fancy then.
Yep, exactly.
We always did. No, it was okay. When I tell you, my family was traditional as fuck. We were traditional as fuck. Like we
Yeah.
had ham on Easter with the green bean casserole and the biscuits and it was very stereotypical, like mashed potatoes. That whole and it was
Gotcha.
always done like everything was put in. Like, I don't know how they did this, but they put they would always put and every Sunday it was chicken. It was, you put the chicken in before you left for church. So by the
Yeah.
time you
Oh, yeah.
got back, it was ready and we'd have chicken and rice and
Yes.
gravy and like the whole like green beans or squash or whatever vegetable is fresh for that day. Like
Mm-hmm.
traditional as fuck.
Well, y'all went all out.
Oh, see, I have a ham downstairs. I am tempted to make a ham. I have ham downstairs. I mean, it's already cooked. It's just basically reheating it.
You should do that. I mean, why not? Why not be traditional for this? Zombie? Jesus,
What part of me says traditional?
none of it. You're not a trad. You're not a trad person. That's a big old negative. She gonna cut me for that. There's nothing about you that says trad.
Yeah, back that up. Back it
Nothing,
all
none
the
of
way
it.
up.
None
Back
of it
it
whatsoever.
so far up.
Way back, like to the beginning of the podcast. Way back.
Yeah, see that line? Not only did you just
Mm-hmm.
cross it, you just bulldozed right through it, Pep. Yeah, back that shit up.
That's fair.
Hash brown casserole.
Oh, yeah. green bean casserole. My parents love a green bean casserole, and what I used to call a pistachio salad.
It's Watergate salad.
But I've come to learn after many years later that it actually has a.
Do you know in lieu
a name.
of a graduation cake for high school, I got a big bowl of Watergate salad. That's what I wanted.
You wanted that, okay? I was about to say, did you get that just because they? All right, at least you wanted it. I was worried that you got it just because someone decided to give it to you instead. Wait, trad goth?
Oh, what?
What? How does that work? I mean, I'm somewhat intrigued.
I know. Traditional goth look. Got it. All right.
So
cool.
trad, but as goth looking.
Got it.
All right. Interesting. Okay. So, hey, you know what? Teach their own. Some people that's what they want.
Okay, so speaking of like the whole Jesus story, like this whole
Mhm.
Easter is the day that Jesus rose from the dead, right?
Yep.
Did
Yep.
you ever
Yep.
sit in that as a kid in church and wonder like the mechanics of all of that? Like I was the kid that sat there and was like, okay, so he died on the cross. He was
Mhm.
crucified. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Got that. Very traditional Roman way to kill somebody. Like not really
Mhm.
like Jesus wasn't the Fun fact, Jesus wasn't that special. Crucifixion was around before and long after he got crucified. So just
It was a very common practice, from what I understand.
BT dubs.
There were two other people next to him that were just common folk that committed crimes.
Right.
It's
called a scene change.
There you go. I never really sat and thought about like the entire thing. However, there were people in the church who liked to provide an in-depth look at the crucifixion, specifically, taking it from a medical perspective. Yes, there are people in my church that like to examine the effects of the crucifixion on the human body and what he.
See, that's what I would do. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But I was like 12.
Yeah. So there were messages, there were or sermons or stuff or parts of sermons where that was explained, like the blood and water flowed. You know, the line when they pierced the side and blood and water flowed. Like the medical reason that is a thing. That was stuff that was talked about in my church.
Like, how did he not bleed out? I'm just saying.
Well, he bleed out. Well, because I guess it depended on where they. Well, they also didn't stick him through the hands. We all know that one, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't pierced through the hands. He was pierced through the wrist because the hands can't sustain the body weight.
And you have the bone, like right here, the bones,
the space between those bones,
the space between the bones. Yes.
Yeah. So, but that isn't actually a good question. So
they pierced his side, right?
Well, that was when he was dead. They did that to prove that he was dead. Yeah.
Right. What do you do to a stuck pig before you slaughter it?
But he was already slaughtered. He was already dead.
Right. So the liquid has to drain out. So how did he not bleed out?
Maybe.
That's the question I ask. Like, what?
This is where
I love how you're like, he's already dead. Yes, that is not what I'm saying, Pep. Remember we talked about like what?
Yeah.
Your body is still full of liquid even when your heart stops pumping.
Well, yeah. That's.
I love how confused you are by this.
It's a good question.
These are the things that go through my head when I was a child thinking about the crucifixion.
Yeah. There we have it. So it was interesting because there was a lot of in-depth discussion, or a lot of times that was discussed, the crucifixion piece. But no one ever got into the science behind the rest of it.
The resurrection?
The resurrection. Yeah.
Ooh.
That was never actually discussed. The science, any science behind that. Mm-hmm.
Do you often wonder what actually happened? Like, do you ever sit and think about, like, because I know that I do. I know we do this with, like, you know, the Christmas story. We do this with all the things, like, how, like, think of all the miracles that Jesus performed. Like, did you ever think about the reality of it?
Like, what really happened?
Like, what really happened? Like, okay, for those who do not believe, and I'm going to make this very clear, for those that do not believe in the Christian faith, that are not, you know, did not believe that Jesus rose from the dead, that either you're agnostic or whatever, you know, atheist, whatever, you just don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
How did that work? You know that it didn't happen. You know that didn't happen.
Are you saying he didn't rise after 3 days?
No, he's not a meatloaf.
Yeah, the only meatloaf is meatloaf.
Right, like it was not like he's like a piece of bread that was like leavened and needed to, like, you know.
He.
Sorry,
I just got that for a moment. It took me a second to click.
Oh, yeah.
I got it. He would have punctured. Yeah, so he couldn't. Yeah. No. Yeah. A lot of wounds there. A lot of problems. He wouldn't have survived very long, I don't think.
No.
But as far as the resurrection, I find interesting the claim that there's a lot of people that claim that 50,000 people saw him as that's proof that he rose. Well, that's not proof. That's a claim. And where does that claim occur? The claim occurs in the Bible. So why is that proof? How is that proof that the Bible that wants you to believe this thing?
Are we having like a weekend at Bernie's type situation? Because that is what I'm wondering.
Do you think they did that?
I am wondering.
That would make a fantastic parody. How cool! Has anybody that would be a hilarious parody.
Considering that Jesus died on Friday and rose again on Sunday, it would totally be a weekend with Jesus.
Somebody's sitting there with his mouth moving it.
He's totally like, they could prop him up like he's dead. They could prop him up on like a little stake. 50,000 people could totally see him. No one said they saw him speak. They just saw him.
He appeared.
He appeared.
We grew up believing these stories. That these stories were perfectly normal.
Right?
That it was like he died and he rose, and that's just normal. That's okay. There's nothing crazy to see here. That's just how it works. But then at the same time, we would look at other religions and other claims made by religions and go, well, that's ridiculous. How could someone possibly believe that? But by the way, ours died and then rose after 3 days. And that's what you should believe.
Right.
Until I got out of that, until I deconstructed and stepped back from that, that's a pretty ridiculous claim.
And like you have to but think about the weight that the crucifixion and the resurrection, and we put a lot of emphasis on Christmas, but the weight and the whole like center of the Christian faith is that he rose again. He died for your sins and he rose again. Yeah. This is the pinnacle and the foundation on which our faith was built upon. We were built upon some magical being raising the sun, slaughtering it like a pig. Like I feel like let's put this like a D&D campaign. I feel like, I mean, that's a great storyline.
That could make for a D&D campaign.
But that's the essence of the Christian faith, and that is what we put. It's like, oh, he rose again. He loved us so much, he gave his only begotten son. He sacrificed him as a lamb, and we no longer have to make
Here's something that was brought up to me recently. We talk about Jesus' sacrifice. Right. Because we talked about last week about how it's used as emotional manipulation. Well, look at what God sacrificed. God sacrificed his only son. Right. Jesus died for our sins. All of this, that's the emotional manipulation. He did this, so you should react accordingly. But if we look at Jesus, what happened? He died, and he in the same way that a lot of other people died. Yeah, he suffered. Sure, he did. It wasn't pleasant, that's by any means. But then he rose on the third day. He knew he was going to rise. God knew he was going to rise. So Jesus went away for a weekend. Jesus took the weekend off, and then he came back. How much of a sacrifice is it when someone goes away for a 3-day vacation and then comes back?
Listen, I went away for a 3-day. What are you trying to say?
How much of it is a sacrifice when you give something up, but then you get it back in 3 days? Do you see the point I'm trying to make?
I am not okay with that. I'm not okay with that revelation. Right? I'm not okay. What?
Oh my God! Look at God sacrificed his son. Yeah, but 3 days later he got him back good as new.
Well, he has a little scratch. It's not. He's taking it as it's a little things. There's a hole here or there, but still functional.
There, yeah. right? But wait, who hasn't come back with an extra hole or two? I mean, I didn't. Wait, oh my God, low key human.
Oh, would it be funny?
if Twitch gave? Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was just reading
Gives
it.
If Twitch gives the AI Jesus channel a 3-day ban just for Easter, oh my God,
That would be amazing.
He went away. He'll be back. The channel will rise again. Oh my God. Thank you for that, Loki Human. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great.
Thanks. Oh, but like, okay. Like, how on the outside, now that we're not in the throes of being the Christian phase, as we deconstructed and are trying to figure out our lives as whatever it is that we are and whatever it is that we believe, looking back on that, looking back on the whole, let's not even talk about the Easter Bunny and all that and how they tried to marry those things together. I don't even know, whatever. But which is all based in pagan ritual, but I won't get into that just yet. So, but we founded an entire religion on a really pretty story.
Yeah.
There are people who went to war and crusades and did all of the things for centuries, millennia,
And still do a lot of unhealthy, crazy things.
Yes, all in the name of the guy. They weekended Bernie's the guy.
Yeah.
All on his God's return policy is really God's return policy is like Costco. Here, I'm going to give my son, but I'll take him back later. It's fine. It doesn't matter what conditions he's in. We'll take him back anyway.
It was like a 33-year return policy.
Oh, he was under where they had the extended warranty. That's what you get when you have the extended warranty.
I've been trying to reach you about your deity's extended warranty.
What religions are not based in that is very true, and that is very true, Kagome, and that is the absolute point. Is
we were talking about this, but sometime last year, that a lot of the Christian stories are actually the same stories that other religions have or that other cultures have. But we didn't think about that when we released. I didn't think about that when I was growing up. The stories were truths because we believed in the whole Bible. You had to believe the stories were truth, and it never occurred. And it didn't occur to me that of course I didn't know enough about other religions in history because they didn't teach that.
Oh no, because God forbid they actually teach you expand your mind.
Right? No, we would not. No, expanding your mind. No, you can't do that. That is not a tenet of religion. Expanding your mind.
Do you want to know where the Easter Bunny comes from? Do you want to know the roots of the Easter Bunny?
Sure, give us Easter Bunny.
So it goes back to pagans. It ties back to the concept of fertility, rebirth, and renewal as celebrated by the pagans. The sacred symbol of the goddess Estre was a hare, and rabbits have long been considered a symbol of fertility due to their ability to reproduce quickly and in large numbers. So when spring came, it was
so that's what Christians are trying to do: reproduce in large numbers.
Gross.
I meant go forth and multiply. I meant spread the religion kind of thing. Trying to extended. Yes, your soul's extended warranty. I've been trying to reach you about your soul's extended warranty.
I feel like they opened up the tomb. The tomb got rolled away, and it was open, and there's Jesus standing there with a clipboard. Oh
my God.
Hello and welcome to the Fine Prince. Here's a scroll.
Yeah, the scroll. Wait. Did you just say the fine print and is in a scroll,
Yes.
or he has to scroll for the fine print?
I hate you.
You're welcome. I had to point that out there. I couldn't let you get away with that one.
God damn it, Beb. Oh. Oh my God.
Scroll.
Sign your soul away.
Oh,
There you go.
ooh.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you believe that we have souls?
Do I now, or did I then?
Well, like, okay, just think about it. Okay, so Jesus died.
Mhm.
Where did his soul go? And did his soul go just stick around with the body, just like hang out there for a little bit? Like, or did his soul go to heaven? And like, it was like a refuel stop. Like, you know what I mean? Like before he ascended into heaven, it was like, hey God, like this is like, I need to resupply, like, you know, and then go back.
Did his soul swing by Bucky's for a
Listen,
couple days?
we're not bashing on Bucky's. Bucky's is fucking amazing. We don't
Well, I
bash
mean,
on
if you
Bucky's.
got to resupply, Bucky's would be the place to be.
I
That's
mean,
what I'm saying.
fair. Is heaven, but is heaven like
Is
Bucky's?
heaven a Bucky's?
Is heaven a
It could be.
Bucky's?
It could be. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Could I interest you in some hope for your eternity in exchange for your blind obedience and fanatical devotion? I feel like a lot of people said yes. A lot of people signed on that dotted line. Yeah.
But would it hit the same if we said that line?
What do you mean?
Do you think people would sign up? And
If we went around saying that?
yes,
Well, for us, I don't think we can keep a straight face. That's the problem. I couldn't keep a straight face.
you have to smile though. You have to sell it like a salesman.
Oh my god.
Come on, Pep, sell me some.
Yeah,
Sell me some fire insurance. That's exactly what it is. Sell me some
They
fire
did
insurance.
not. They did not read the TOS. That was the problem. They didn't read the TOS.
They did not.
Always, you got to read the TOS.
But like that's the thing.
Sell
It's like,
you
well,
some
okay,
fire.
so when we die, we often talk about our
Uh-huh.
souls going wherever they go,
Mhm.
or whatever your religious and faith believes in at this point. Like we
Yep.
used to believe it was heaven. Now it's like energy. I don't know where our soul. Like I think we have a soul. I just don't know where it goes.
It just dissipates. Jenkins ain't even neutral. I feel like we do need someone to go around selling insurance, and like it sounds like normal insurance.
Pep, you're
And
the
so
only
they
one
get-
that's allowed to sell insurance in our group.
Okay, that's gonna be me. All right, I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be part of our D&D campaign? And we're gonna work that in.
Every single time the Bart goes in, roll for charisma because I'm about to sell some term life
Right.
insurance.
Heck yeah.
Oh.
It's for peace of mind.
Piece of your soul. But that's the thing. Like, what did happen to Jesus' soul?
Did it go up?
Did it go to heaven?
Did he have a soul? I mean, he's fully God and fully
Okay,
man.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you believe there's God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, right? And they're all the
Trinity.
Trinity.
Uh-huh.
So they're all one.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
how does that work? I need to know.
Did Jesus have a soul?
Right.
Because if he's fully God and fully man, where does the soul fit into that?
Ooh.
Speaking of salespeople, something is detected at my door. Alexa's telling me that someone's at my door. You're talking
Alright.
about salespeople, so
But
that's at my
like,
door.
yeah.
Mhm.
How's that work?
I don't know. That's a good question.
And is Jesus really the Son of God, or is he God in human form?
He's both. He's all of it.
And that's the thing, is like, how can he be both? You can't be both.
Because he tells us not to lean on our own understanding.
Oh,
So
fucking
it's okay
shit.
that you don't understand. In all ways, acknowledge him.
What? What? First off, I'm mad that for like 20 years of my life, I believed that shit. Like, anytime somebody told me that, I'd be like, okay. Like, second, Second, why you gotta push
me.
that trauma trigger right there? Why?
You asked the question.
I mean, at fair.
Uh-huh. You just gotta have faith. Faith. You gotta have faith.
Why are you this human right now? Oh, you're so funny.
I'm hilarious.
You just got Sky Daddy gaslit.
Sky
Yeah,
Daddy
I mean, you right. I mean, you right.
Hey, no one gaslights like Sky Daddy.
No one's gaslights like Sky Daddy. You know what? We should make that into a t-shirt. No one gaslights like Sky Daddy.
God. Oh, that's I feel like that does need to happen. Yeah.
I would totally wear that. No one gaslights you like Sky Daddy.
Right? I want to wear it to see who gets it. That's what I want to see.
Well, like none of the Christians will get it because they don't know what Sky Daddy means. Like,
Probably not. No. Oh my god. That's fantastic.
but think about that. Like, of course,
Jade get it.
I'd wear it. So, but it's like, okay, so was Jesus like a growth? You know how like these worms, they like just sort of split off and then they create new worms? Like, is that how
Parasite?
Jesus?
Are you saying Jesus is a parasite?
Well, yeah, I mean, sorta. He never had a job. He lived with his mom and dad for 30-something years, and then he like lived off of everybody else. I mean,
There was a long period of time where we don't.
I feel like he turned the
exactly-
water into wine because he had a debt to repay. Like he was at this wedding, he was at this really nice wedding, and they were probably like, "Hey, you owe us some money." So you're like, "Here you go."
All right, that's fine. Or do you sure it wasn't like a bet or something?
Do you think Jesus got drunk?
Yeah, probably. There's a whole lot of things we don't know. But here's the other question. Does it matter? Like, if you were to ask a Christian, do you think Jesus got drunk? And if they were to vehemently deny it, no, especially because a lot of Christians believe you shouldn't drink. Does it matter? Would it matter if you believe in Jesus and Christianity? It doesn't matter if he got drunk or not. Is it?
And who forgives Jesus of his sins?
Jesus is blameless. He committed no sins.
But he turned
Zero.
0 sins. So you're telling me he was God in human form, but he like 0 bad thoughts, like they tell us. Zero thoughts of bad things happening. 0 negative thoughts when he saw the ankle of some shepherd girl
Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene.
When Mary Magdalene was rubbing his feet, you don't think he got he had some thoughts?
And here's the thing. He's like, I was hanging out with tax collectors and prostitutes and all of those things. He was hanging out with the wrong crowd.
I think he was hanging out with the right crowd.
I mean, fair, but I mean but you know what I'm saying? If you look at it in that, just like, oh, he forgives all of sinners because he was hanging and there's no sin to but if we had some guy, some Jesus, that was showing up and he was hanging out with some hookers and some drug dealers, and he goes up and goes, I am the Son of God and I am here to save you and I'm going to rise again. Would you really think that he had 0 bad thoughts and he did 0 bad deeds? And would we believe him then? No.
That's the bigger question is, would a Christian look at someone like that and go, you know what, I'm going to follow him?
No.
Because the Christians, especially the Christians in the U.S., because I've heard there's a big difference between Christians in the U.S. and Christians in the other parts of the world.
Really?
I mean, yeah. Well, also you have Christian nationalism too, and that's a whole other sect of it.
Oh, fair.
But yeah, would Christians react the same way? I mean, look at the Bible, look at the stories and the parables that Jesus taught, and what those represented versus what a lot of the Christians we know, we talk to, we were around or are around what they believe.
Okay, and here's how I sort of like, you look at these cult people, like all of these big cults, and you're like, how could they follow like Jonestown and like how could they follow them? How could we follow the same? It's literally, we're following the same thing.
It's very similar playbook in many cases.
Yeah.
And we're not necessarily saying all of Christianity, but a lot of what we talk about are the specific, like the way we grew up, the churches we grew up in, the pastors that we followed, or the groups, because church to church can be very different. But how do people end up following? Look at the mega churches. Mega churches are a perfect example of this. How do so many people follow? It's the same reason people follow what we call cults. It's the same thing. One is just acceptable and one is not.
One is name brand. That's all it is. That's what I think.
That's it.
Christianity is name brand cultism. Name brand. Oh my God, Christianity is a name brand cult.
Oh. But if you flip it around, the ingredients are the same.
I'm going to let everyone sit with that for a minute.
I'm picturing in my head like a nutrition label or ingredients label.
Christianity is the name brand cult. And all these other cults are just the generic versions.
Generics. My God. It's fantastic. Mm-hmm.
The results are still the same.
Mm-hmm. The branding is better. The marketing is better.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's where the mega money goes.
Wow. That's where the money goes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I wasn't prepared for that. Great value.
Great value Christianity. Oh my God.
I prefer the Kirkland brand myself, but I mean, that's just because I'm a classy bitch.
Buy it or die marketing. Yeah.
Yes.
That was the Crusades.
Well, that's not even the Crusades. It's just like now. Like, think about when we were teenagers. That whole martyrdom.
Yeah, it is. It is. Mm-hmm.
Like.
Well, it's you have to believe what I believe. See, what we try to say is like, look, we don't believe this. If you believe these things, if you believe what we say in our intro or in our is, if you believe, just do it in a healthy way. Okay. And part of that is meaning what I believe is right and wrong for me applies to me. If I think 20-second ads, when you push that on other people, that's where it becomes a massive problem. When you they're back. Okay. Yay. Welcome back. That's when it becomes a massive problem, is when you're pushing it on other people. When you are doing the knife to the throat, pretty much figuratively, you must believe this. You must believe what I believe, and I'm trying to save you from yourself. That's the part that really burns me. The mentality that I know better than you, and I'm going to save you from yourself.
That's because you have, familial trauma with that too.
That's how I grew up. And my mother did this not 2 years ago. My mother pulled the fire insurance, and I want you to. I care enough about you that I want you to do this thing. I'm going to push this on you. I'm going to break your boundary because I want you to be in heaven. Because I care about you. Subscribe is also another way to do that. Just saying.
Oh my God. Yeah, like it's fire insurance. Do it or die.
It's fire insurance. Yeah. Which, you know what's funny about the fire insurance argument is, if someone is your friend only because of fire insurance, only because of the negative, is that really a good friend? Do you not think that God knows when people are only following him for fire insurance? Is that really what deity, what God wants, is for people to follow them because of fire insurance? Are you really believing? Is that really faith if that's why fire insurance? I don't know. It just seems like a very flawed belief system. If the reason you adhere to it is for
I
fire
love how
insurance.
you're trying to apply logic to you're like, it's a flawed belief system. Well, no fucking shit. We wouldn't have a podcast if it wasn't a flawed fucking belief system, Pep Pep. Sean.
I'm trying to have a
You're literally like
You
over
know-
here like trying to make this make sense. Like what the fuck? We're literally there are people out there celebrating the rising of this dead man for like 2,000 years ago.
why am I bringing logic into this?
I know what's happening. What's happening right now?
I don't know.
I just want some goodies in my Easter basket. Like that's all that matters.
Was that a euphemism? Because it sounded like a euphemism.
Do you apply sunscreen on your bald cat or you aren't worried about it getting sunburned? Actually, she can get sunburned, but she doesn't go outside. She just doesn't. She's really a scaredy cat. She hates going outside, but she likes to sun herself in the windows. So she doesn't get burned. She just sort of like
Warms.
she warms herself.
She warms. She
does. She does warm herself. But because she doesn't have any for her metabolism is higher, like it burns, so she actually is colder than most cats. So she has to warm herself.
She gets a golden brown.
She does get a golden brown. She's actually dirty. She needs a bath.
Aw. she gonna boop you? There she goes.
Mom. Well, yeah.
Happy zombie Jesus. Day.
Happy zombie Jesus Day.
Yeah.
Did it ever creep you out? Did it ever creep you out, the crucifixion, thinking about all of that?
Yeah. It was. I think it was brought forefront in the martyr culture, right? We talked about that.
Fair.
The martyrdom that swept through.
Yeah.
That's where I think it really came in. It was the look at what Jesus suffered for you. And so you think about, so I think they brought it into start. I think the discussion, the where they taught about the science behind it was not just to kind of give you an idea of what it was. I think it was a manipulation, emotional manipulation, to get me to go, oh my God, he went through so much. He endured so much. I should believe in him because he did all this.
Do you find yourself looking at doubting Thomas differently now that you are deconstructed and out of the church?
I never thought about
Do you like doubting Thomas? And for those of you who don't know, like who haven't been in the Christian faith, or maybe not be like who are like whatever. So there was one of his disciples, Thomas, did not like questioned whether he was Jesus rose again. Like he was questioning. He didn't have this blind faith. He was like, I watched you die, dude. Like, I don't believe it you. And it wasn't until he touched the wound or like you said that he believed.
He put things in holes.
He did put things in holes that he believed that Jesus rose from the dead. But like, do you see, like now that we are like out of the church and in a different mindset, do you find yourself seeing doubting Thomas in a different way? Like doubting Thomas was like, of course, doubting Thomas because he had his own brain. He found like he had his own thoughts.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like I'm saying no, that doesn't make it. That I'm not sure I'm okay with that. That doesn't sound right.
Jesus suffered for me, only for me to have to go to work and pay rent, right? I mean, I want to be nailed on some wood, by some wood, but you know, that's a totally different thing, Jay. Like that's something different.
He is risen.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is.
have you seen some of those Jesuses? Have you seen some? I mean,
Six-pack Jesus.
six-pack
man.
Jesus.
Right.
Mm.
And I mean, you got the Jesus with arms wide open. That's something else. That loincloth?
Straight to hell.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Round our lips, we've already been. I mean, like, I own property there. It's fine. And then just
Just to see.
yes.
hmm
But like, yeah, like here we are, this guy that was like being very logical, very like, I watched you die. Like now he doesn't seem that like, don't be like, because they tout that a lot. Don't be a doubting Thomas. Don't be a doubting Thomas.
Doubting.
You need to have all this faith and don't doubt the Lord.
You just gotta believe. You just gotta believe.
I have questions.
But yet, doubt and questioning things was always cast in a negative light
Oh yeah.
for us. Which one are you responding to? Because it could be any of the last three.
Paragons.
Oh my god.
Chef's kiss on that.
God, my lord.
Oh, Paragon, you have just now, you gold fucking star.
I was gonna go much worse, but I think I'm gonna leave that. Do you think Jesus was kinky and he actually liked the crucifixion?
No,
He did get whipped. He got flogged.
but okay, all right. So there is a difference between actually being whipped, like punishment whipped, and like kink whipped. So I don't think so. I think that honestly, well, here's what I do think happened. Do I think that he went through all of this that Jesus went through all this horrendous stuff, getting punished by the government, getting watching the trial, getting crucified? Abso-fucking-lutely. I do honestly 100% believe that. I believe that happened. What I don't believe is that he rose again. I don't believe that he ascended into heaven 3 days later. I don't believe any of that stuff. I don't. I just don't. I think that is something that his followers had to come up with so that they can, so that they would maintain that foothold in faith, in religion.
Because if he didn't, he was just another person.
Right.
Yeah.
He was just a heavy BDSM before it was cool. I mean, yeah. I mean, fair. He was into poly. He was in ethical non-monogamy. I mean, who's gonna go around with all those people and
Right. He did hang out with 12 guys almost all the time. All the time. Jim Bro Jesus, thou shalt not skip leg day. That's a good commandment. Oh man.
Easter is such a weird thing. I saw a saying the other day. It's like, thanks Judas for the 3-day weekend, because he's the whole reason that Jesus got crucified. And I was like, you know what? That's right. You're thinking the wrong person.
It's a valid point. And he betrayed him. And he betrayed him with a kiss. What does that say?
I don't have time to get into spurned lovers and going down that road. I just don't. I would just. It's just, this whole Easter holiday is strange. It is strange in that this is the foundation of Christianity, and it's all based on this fairy tale, this lie. And I don't know it's not treated as big as Christmas.
That's a good point. It's not. Now when I grew up in church, they did talk about it being as big as Christmas. They're like, whenever Easter rolled around, they would talk about, Christmas is a big deal, but Christmas is nothing without Easter. If Easter didn't happen, Christmas wouldn't be a big deal. So they tried to,
but Christmas wouldn't, but Easter wouldn't happen if Christmas didn't happen.
Well, yeah, but Christianity wouldn't have. So it doesn't matter if Jesus was born if Jesus didn't resurrect. Because if Jesus, that's what we're talking about. That's why it's such a big deal for Easter, is that if he doesn't resurrect, then he was just a good guy. Just a teacher, just a good guy who told some good stories. The resurrection is what creates the religion.
Easter is his second birthday.
Second birthday.
Is that like second breakfast? Like what?
I didn't get him a cake.
Oh, well, you know what? It makes sense, Jay. You know, we celebrate him coming out of a hole on Christmas, and then we celebrate him coming out of another hole in Easter. I feel like that is correct. Easter is his second birthday because either way, Jesus is coming right out of a hole.
Wow.
Tell me I'm wrong. You can't.
I mean, one was significantly larger than the other.
Yes, but they're both dark and damp.
They were, and yes, they
And
probably were.
since she
Dark
was
and
a
damp.
virgin, they were covered up. There was a bit.
They had to roll. They had to roll the stone away.
There was a bit of a barrier.
Barrier. Oh my God, Lord help us. Oh jeez.
I think I've offended Pep's delicate nature. Oh no. Oh.
Vapus.
Okay, I think this is a good place to stop where we're talking.
I think we've beat this one enough. Have we crucified the topic?
I think we have. I think there it is. So, all right.
Yeah. Whoop.
Thank you for joining us. Happy Zombie Jesus Day, our third annual Zombie Jesus episode. Yay!
Make sure you enjoy some marshmallow peeps today.
Blech. We have already
Yeah.
discussed this. No.
What?
We are not spreading that message of hate. We are not spreading that message of hate. Just like your candy corn. We don't know. No, we do not spread that message of
He
hate.
died for our sins. Have a marshmallow peep.
Good thing there's not a hell. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. If I've seen all the people that are going to heaven, I'd much rather go to hell. It'd be a lot better. It's a lot
Right?
more fun time. It's fine. Like, no, what? What?
That made me think, as a Christian, when I thought about the rapture, it was always a scary, anxious thing. Like, am I going to be taken up in the rapture? Now I look at the rapture and go, it can't get here soon enough because there's a whole lot of people that I want to go away.
Hey. What? Hey, God, what can we do to speed up this process? Like, I know I'm getting left behind. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
If you could
There's a
take
whole
some
lot
of
people,
them,
if you just take them.
because I have plans, and I just need them to go.
They're really screwing things up for us down here. Can you just?
Can you take your people? Hey, God,
Get your
get your boy. God, get your boy. Oh, God, now we gotta go.
Oh my God. Yes. On that note.
All right, everybody, enjoy your Sunday, however it is.
Whatever
I'm just
you
saying
spend
Sunday. I'm not celebrating Easter. Like, whatever. I may game later tonight. Who knows? We'll see.
Look for a notification.
Look for a
Everybody.
notification. I know.
Mhm.
And we will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Ooh, maybe.
Click the button.
I don't know. I don't know where the button
Smash
is. Everything's
Mash
changed.
the button. Everything's good.